What happens when a queen like Tamela Mann, the voice that's carried millions through their darkest days, is fighting for her life in a hospital bed? And what happens when her husband, David Mann, drops a confession so raw it's got church mothers crying and gossip blogs buzzing? Buckle up, because this isn't just about a health scare. It's about secrets, betrayal, and a gospel industry that might not be as holy as it seems. Let's get into it. Tamela Mann has been the heartbeat of gospel music for decades. Her voice? It's the kind that stops you mid-scroll, mid-cry, mid-prayer. Songs like Take Me to the King didn't just climb charts, they built bridges to hope for folks who had none. She's weathered fake friends, shady promoters, and an industry that loves to lift you up on Sunday and leave you broke by Monday. Tamela's been everybody's church mother, the one you turn to when life hits hard. But even queens aren't untouchable, and what's happening now? It's got fans clutching their Bibles and their phones, wondering how it all went so wrong. Word is, Tamela's in the ICU, battling a rare infection that hit like a storm nobody saw coming. Whispers from hospital insiders, folks who probably shouldn't be texting their cousins, say this started after her weight loss journey. You remember how the internet lost it when she dropped those pounds? Talk shows, magazine covers, fans cheering her glow up. But rumors are swirling that the transformation took a toll, weakening her immune system until this infection slipped in like a thief. Now, I'm not saying that's the full truth. Those are just the whispers floating around. But what we do know is her body's fighting harder than ever, and the doctors are working overtime to keep her stable. But that wasn't the whole story. While Tamela's hooked up to machines, David Mann was holding it together, barely. For weeks, he stayed silent, dodging calls, ignoring texts, trying to shield his wife's legacy from the gossip vultures. Insiders say he was torn. Protect Tamela's health or protect the empire they built from scratch. Brand deals, a cookbook, a TV special dangling millions. It was all piling up while her body begged for rest. David thought he could keep the world at bay, but secrets don't stay buried forever. One blurry photo, snapped by a cousin who should have known better, hit a private prayer group and spread like wildfire. Tamela, fragile, tubes everywhere, it broke hearts and opened floodgates. And that's when David couldn't hold back anymore. Late one night, under flickering hospital lights, David went live. No script, no PR team, just a husband with bloodshot eyes and a cracking voice. "Y'all, I can't fake it no more," he said. "She's not okay. She's fighting for her life. I need every prayer warrior to hit your knees tonight." The gospel world froze. Fans wept, screenshots flew, and TikTok exploded with clips before he even signed off. But David didn't stop there. He hinted at something darker, a storm of betrayal that pushed Tamela to the edge long before this infection did. And trust me, that storm? It's got names, faces, and receipts. But what was he talking about? Hold that thought. If you thought David's tears were the end of this, oh, you're not ready for what's next. While Tamela Mann fights for every breath in that ICU, the gospel industry's dirty laundry is piling up, and David's got a match ready to burn it all down. See, Tamela wasn't just battling an infection. She was battling an industry that's been bleeding her dry for years. Let's talk about the wolves in church robes who've been cashing in on her name while she's hooked to a ventilator. This is where it gets messy. The gospel world loves to preach grace, but behind the scenes, it's all about green. Tamela had contracts to fulfill, a cookbook to promote, and a TV network waving millions for a comeback special, all while her body was screaming for a break. Insiders whisper, though nobody's got receipts yet, that shady promoters and so-called managers were pushing her to keep performing, keep smiling, keep signing deals. Some even say they pocketed big cuts while Tamela got love offerings that never hit her bank. These aren't facts, mind you, just the buzz circling the church parking lots. But when a fake Instagram account popped up, claiming to raise funds for Tamela's medical bills, that's when the real snakes showed their fangs. This account, I Pray for Malefic or something shady like that, posted grainy hospital photos and Bible verses, begging fans to donate. In 72 hours, it raked in nearly $50,000, mostly from grandmas and single moms scraping their last dollars for their queen. Where'd the money go? Not to Tamela. Word is, it vanished into the pockets of a fan club president nobody can find. When David heard, hospital staff say he punched a wall so hard security came running. That's when the funny man from sitcoms turned into a lion. He's done playing nice, and rumor has it he's got a digital folder labeled Judgment Day, full of emails, contracts, and voicemails ready to expose every crook who's been feeding off Tamela's suffering. But that wasn't the only fight. The internet split like a church choir on a bad Sunday. Half of Tamela's fans are fasting, praying, flooding comments with scriptures and digital candles. The other half? They're out here spreading wild theories. One TikTok went viral claiming her weight loss was a money trap pushed by shady wellness brands. Pure speculation, but it's got folks side-eyeing her team. Another post dared to say David's hiding medical neglect, which, let's be real, sounds like trolls fishing for clout. The church community's at war. Some want privacy for the Manns. Others demand answers, saying, "She's our inspiration. We deserve the truth." Meanwhile, mega-pastors who stayed silent for weeks are suddenly posting prayer circle pics, looking real holy but not fooling anybody who knows they haven't called Tamela's room once. And what happened next would shock everyone. David's not just praying, he's planning. Insiders say he's lawyered up, gathering witness statements and medical records to sue promoters, managers, and anyone else who milked Tamela's name while she was too weak to fight. One friend told a podcast, if she pulls through, David's exposing every deal that bled her dry. If she doesn't, he's got nothing left to lose. Chills, right? But amid the legal tornado, there's a flicker of hope. A trusted gospel YouTuber got a rare peek into the ICU lobby and saw David singing "Take Me to the King" at Tamela's bedside. Her lips moved, barely, like she was whispering "Amen." That moment sparked a wave of real prayers. No scams, no GoFundMes, just raw faith from fans worldwide. So where does this leave us? Tamela's still fighting, her lungs hanging on by a thread. Doctors say the next 72 hours are make or break. David's guarding her like a soldier, ready to drag every fake friend and shady deal into the light. The gospel world's holding its breath, not just for her recovery, but for what David might unleash if the worst happens. This isn't about gossip or clout. It's about a woman who poured her soul into our hearts, needing us to pour it back. So before you scroll away, do 3 things. Drop a prayer in the comments, 1 word, 1 verse, whatever moves you. The Manns see these and hopes stronger than any IV drip. Smash that like button to spread this story to every prayer warrior out there. And hit subscribe with that bell, because when David drops the next update, or those receipts, you'll want to be here. Tamela Mann's fight isn't over, and neither is the truth. Let's keep praying. All right, family. If you're still here, you're in for the final act of this gospel roller coaster. And trust me, it's a wild one. Tamela Mann's still clinging to life in that ICU. David Mann's done playing nice, and the gospel world's shaking like a tambourine at a revival. Just when you thought the secrets were all spilled, a new twist dropped that's got fans praying harder and trolls typing faster. We're diving into the latest whispers, a legal storm that's brewing, and a moment in that hospital room that'll break your heart wide open. Let's not waste a second. Here's what's going down. Just yesterday, as Tamela's machines kept beeping, a bombshell hit the internet. Someone, nobody knows who, leaked a grainy voicemail from a big-name gospel promoter, allegedly begging David to keep it quiet about a deal gone wrong. The audio's muffled, but the gist? This promoter's voice, smooth as a Sunday sermon, promising to make it right if David doesn't air their dirty laundry. Fans on X are calling it proof of the shady deals David's been hinting at. But hold up, it's just a rumor for now, no receipts confirmed. Still, it's got the church crowd buzzing. Was Tamela pushed to perform when she was already breaking down? The whispers say yes, but nobody's signing their name to that claim. And while the internet argues, David's not slowing down. Insiders close to the Mann family, think cousins who talk too much at reunions, say David's legal team is moving like lightning. They're not just chasing small fry managers anymore. Word is, they're eyeing a lawsuit against a major gospel conference that used Tamela's face on every flyer, but paid her pennies while pocketing thousands. These folks preached blessings but forgot to cut the check. David's got voicemails, emails, even handwritten notes from Tamela herself, begging for a break before her health crashed. If this goes to court, it could crack the gospel industry wide open, exposing who really profits when a queen like Tamela falls. But that's not even the half of it. While David's fighting in the legal ring, something else is stirring. Something uglier. A shady wellness brand that sold Tamela-approved detox teas and supplements is now under fire. Fans on TikTok are digging up old ads, claiming the products were more hype than help, maybe even tied to her weakened immune system. Let's be clear. Nobody's got proof that these teas caused her infection, but the speculation's loud enough to make the company yank their website offline overnight. Poof, gone like a bad deacon after offering. David hasn't named them yet, but sources say he's got screenshots of contracts showing they used Tamela's name without her full consent. If that's true, it's not just betrayal, it's a whole scam dressed up as salvation. And here's where it gets heavier. Last night in that sterile ICU room, something happened that's got fans holding their breath. A nurse, risking her job to share this, said Tamela opened her eyes for the first time in days. Not just a flutter, a real look straight at David as he hummed, "God provides." She didn't speak, but her hand squeezed his, tight, like she was saying, "I'm still here." The nurse said David broke down, tears soaking his shirt, whispering, "Baby, we're gonna make it." It's not a full recovery, far from it, but it's a spark of hope in a story that's been nothing but storm clouds. Fans flooded social media with "Our Tamela Lives," praying this is the turnaround they've been begging for. But the clock's ticking, and the doctors aren't making promises. Now the gospel world's at a crossroads. Some fans are doubling down, organizing virtual prayer chains that stretch from Atlanta to Chicago. Others can't stop digging, posting theories about who's behind the leaks and why. One Wild X post even claimed a rival gospel stars team is stirring the pot to keep Tamela off the stage. No evidence, just chatter, but it's enough to keep the drama boiling. Meanwhile, David's cryptic posts keep coming. His latest? Truth don't need a microphone. It just needs time. If that's not a warning shot, I don't know what is. He's got the gospel industry sweating, and they should be. Because if Tamela pulls through, David's coming for every lie that pushed her to this point. So, what's next? The next 48 hours are everything. Doctors say if Tamela's lungs keep fighting off this infection, she could turn a corner, maybe even speak again. If not, well, nobody's ready to say that out loud. David's not just praying now, he's planning a reckoning. Word is he's meeting with a blogger this week to drop a folder of receipts that'll make every shady promoter and fake friend wish they'd never crossed the man's. This isn't about gossip anymore. It's about a woman who gave her soul to the world, now needing the world to give it back. So do this before you go. Drop a prayer in the comments, whether it's amen or a whole psalm. Hit that like button to spread this story to every heart that needs to hear it. And subscribe with that bell on, because when David speaks again, or Tamela sings again, you'll want to be the first to know. Keep the faith, family. This queen's still fighting.